It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. Hold on tight. We're in for an exciting one. And it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there, first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Nice little nifty play for them there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Roberts. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And he'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
At the 26-yard line.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The slot man in motion right. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They go play action here on first down. And this is Cook with the grab. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 10. And a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Short throw, Roberts with it.
Room to maneuver at the 35.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They'll look to throw again. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
And his kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And his throw here is incomplete. When you look at this defense, they find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
his 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they've got it 2nd down and 12. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Wide open receiver complete. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play there. 55 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Well, I'm not quite sure how he got away from that first tackler, but he won't even be able to get it back to the line of scrimmage there as the defense rallies behind him. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
They'll set up a throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him, because he is eating him up right now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out. And a 5-yard penalty.
Ball start. Offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, if you like the matchup and that connection works to start the drive, no reason to go away from it. Let that defense prove that they can stop you. And here, it's 2 throws and 2 first downs.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Short throw, Roberts with it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
It's a gain of 6. Result is a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll set up to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And the ball is knocked out. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2 minutes remaining in the 1st half, 10-7, our score.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 5.
Slot man moves right. 2nd and 5.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Back to throw again. And this is incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
2nd down and 3. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
They'll look to throw here. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
That's going to be caught, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down, as they have taken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. From the 31, here's a 2nd down and 9. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. And we'll jump right over halftime and keep the game going here in Week 4. Second half kickoff, ready to go. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. On play action, they'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws,
has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They pick up the first down there with a gain of 11.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
That's pulled in at the 32. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he's got this down to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Looking to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Short throw, Roberts with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down. Pressure comes and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error.
Still
Stay
second
alert,
down.
don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
The slot man in motion right. 2nd and 9 now. Wide open receiver complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
Eluding the pressure right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Roberts got it. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
A game of 7. Result is a 1st down.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Off the RPO, he completes it, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. No hesitation on the decision to go on 4th and goal from the 1, and they punch it in.
And I do believe the field position factors in there, too, because even if they don't get in, you're going to force the other guys to go the full 99 yards. So to me, a good calculated risk, which actually paid off.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And on now is the punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
For the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down.
He's back to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is fourth down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's going to be batted down. And will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they'll indeed take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about him taking a knee at the end, and there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the home team here, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.